All righty, President Trump's going back at it, folks. It's going to be a brand new magical mystery tour. Big rallies beginning next month, incidentally, and spilling over to July 4th. And once he gets started, there'll be no stopping him. The question, though, is what will his message be? What should it be? And to be honest with you, only Brian Kilmeade, a Fox & Friends co-host and host of the Brian Kilmeade radio show, only Brian Kilmeade is capable of answering these penetrating existential questions, which is why I have you here.
This is the most sarcastic you ever were. I don't even know this side of you. And it's sarcasm in the prompter, too. I don't know what's going on.
It's pure love.
Right.
You know that.
Yeah, that's the way my family does it.
This is a big topic, though. He's going to go out on the road, which is great. The question, let me ask you the easier question first. In your judgment, what should he be saying? What's his message?
It's gotten so easy, and it's a lot to do with what's happening on your show. You know, before I even get Larry Kudlow's opinion about what's happening, you just look at the numbers. And you look at the numbers, not at the stock market necessarily up and down, but you look at the numbers in terms of the fear of inflation that's happening. I wonder what gas is going up, it's doubled. I wonder how we're going to handle cybersecurity, we already got hit. I wonder if we're going to be tough abroad, we've already looked weak. In a myriad of ways. Before I get to opinion, I will just tell you the story. So if he lists the things that have happened since he left in 114 days, that's the first 25 minutes. And then go dial back 2015. He had fun up there. He was working the crowd. Yes, sometimes he went overboard in a way we're not used to, but it was always in fun. And people miss him. The Twitter has been a problem. I think long-term, Facebook is going to be a problem. But in the short term, when someone goes away, they immediately get more popular. And I think that's what's happening.
But doesn't he, I totally agree, he has got to get up there calmly and critique the mistakes that I believe Biden is making. And as a Trump advisor for 3 years, I mean, he and I hardly ever disagreed. He's a supply sider, he's a market-driven guy, energy independence. Then it seems to me, Brian, he's got to lay out and remind people his achievements and what could be done if he got a shot at it again. And I'm not speculating on president. What the next steps should be, not Biden's steps, but what Trump's next steps would be. In other words, policy, constructive policies.
Which is interesting. You know, you don't have to get into the weeds of it. You could be really interesting in saying, let me just tell you, if Hamas wouldn't have been sending those rockets into Israel, because we wouldn't have been doing a deal with Iran. And Saudi Arabia wouldn't be talking to Iran about brokering some type of deal because we would have had Saudi Arabia's back. And we wouldn't have a problem necessarily with Russia because the relationship with Russia was somewhat of mutual respect, even though it was problematic in certain ways. And with China, we were either working our way towards a phase 2 deal or there was going to be a flat-out confrontation. And that is the fact because nobody was happier in the world than our number one enemy, and that was China. And I'll just say this. The worst thing the president could do is start saying, I won that election, they stole it from me in 2000, you know, and January 6th was not a big deal. I don't care who asks you what question, we're moving on. And when you come to a campaign for a candidate, whether it's Sean Parnell or whether it's Herschel Walker in Georgia, make it about them. He understands my agenda. This is the guy, this is the woman that can make it happen, and this is what's going to happen. I can't do anything unless we win 2022.
Right. Attack the Democrats on the left and promote Republicans with the sensible pro-growth policies that he put into place and the America First international policy. The grievances won't work. The policies will, and the country will remember his achievements. And
the problem is, and the good thing is that Joe Biden fully is everything the president feared. In fact, if I was cutting an ad, I would use some of the accusations and the assumptions that President Trump used on the campaign trail. And I'd say, guess what? Every one of them happened. And when he's going to roll tape in, I would roll that in. Guess what he did? Guess what he did? D.C. estate.
I told you, folks, only Brian Kilmeade could have run this riff.